Hello, beautiful human. I am Zach. That is Dan, and we welcome to the studio Alex Warren.
Yes.
We're talking about the fact that I am, as of recently, a rower.
I love it.
I row. But you are recently on a weight loss journey.
Yeah.
With your fiance.
Yes. So Kouvr is just to start. I'm not like doing it all too healthy. I'm on Ozempic and testosterone and a plethora of things.
So you're being honest and transparent about that.
Yeah, I don't. Well, because I'm not on it to lose weight. So the like byproduct of it is losing weight. So I'm not like trying to tell everyone I'm naturally losing all this weight and stuff. I've been very open about it from the beginning.
So what do you take Ozempic for?
I'm pre-diabetic. And
Okay,
so
got it.
I had for 7 years or 8 years, I haven't had my blood drawn. And ever since, like, I just never went to the doctor or anything. And like my mom growing up was a whole situation. So I kind of, once I became an adult, I'm like, oh, you know what? Like I can push this off. I'm young, I'm healthy. And then this year has been like really, really crucial for me to take my health seriously. So I quit nicotine like on the first before going on tour with my friend Daniel. And then I wanted to get my blood tested and see like exactly what's happening with me and all these things, because I kind of started feeling depressed and anxious and stuff. And turns out I had the testosterone of a 70-year-old man. And I had they said I was pre-diabetic, and to offset it or prevent myself from getting type 2 diabetes, I'd have to take Ozempic. So I'm on Ozempic, I'm on testosterone, and I get also vitamin D.
But you feel better because of it.
Oh my God, it's life-changing. And it's also like they're like, oh hey, you should work out while you're on this, because you know we know I've dealt with like weight loss for a very long time. Like I have body dysmorphia or whatever that is, I think. But I've always been really unhealthy of losing weight and gaining weight. And so I kind of just wanted to grab it by the balls and go for it.
So, yeah, well, what changes? What wakes you up to wanting to figure this out and get shit together? Even going to get a blood test, because, like, it is scary.
I'm terrified of dying. But I think it's also because I've lost so many people.
That's what I was going to say. Like, but you would think to a certain degree, and I don't know. No, nobody finds peace in death.
No, I'm very numb to it, though. Like, that's the problem. I don't think if Kouvr died, my fiance, if Kouvr died tomorrow, I think I'd kill myself. But that's something, or write a song about it. But,
I'd rather, have you write a song.
Yeah, but not to get dark, but it's just like, when someone's like, oh, like this person died, it's like, oh shit, that's terrible. But holy fuck, I'm numb to it. Like, it's really crazy how everything kind of happens, and how you like watch someone's, especially someone like your parents, you watch them die in front of you. It kind of, at a young age, it alters you, definitely. But I don't think I'd be who I am today without it. Like,
I didn't know much about your dad's history. I didn't know that he vlogged the last few months of years of his life, right?
So he knew he was dying. He beat cancer 3 times, and the 4th time got him. But he knew that there was a potential that he wouldn't be able to live his life, and he didn't know when he was going to die. The first time he got cancer was when just my older sister was born. Not even, and I have three other siblings, so they got busy real quick. But he started filming like them being born and like all the life, and like talking to the camera and like showing us who he is. And like he'd go to Costco and buy these like water slides and like bring them home and surprise us, and we'd all come out and like, whoa, what the, like literally like prank my mom and like have me hold the camera, and like 3 feet tall me at 7 years old is like filming the camera, like holding it. And even when he was dying like on chemo, like couldn't even walk, he would have my mom follow him around with a camera and just show us everything. So I have hours and hours and hours of footage of my dad. And it's really cool. Like, I feel like I don't remember anything about him when I was 9 and stuff, just because of everything happening. It was a lot, and I try to tune it out and kind of forget about it. But I can watch the videos and like really like, oh wow, that's cool. Like, that was my dad.
Those are tangible moments that you can look back on whenever you want.
Yeah, I still have some of his clothes too, which is really cool.
But also you realize in that moment, like, I guess what a camera really can do and what the power it actually possesses. Like,
yeah.
Because it is more, even though you have a rule where you don't film on holidays, you don't film on birthdays, but there is something to the fact
Holy
that,
shit,
like,
you know your shit. Yeah. I love that. I think I've only said that once. Yeah.
Well, there is something to the fact that this thing, as much as it can be a curse, could be like the biggest blessing ever.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's a time capsule that lives with you forever.
That was the whole point of why I started getting into it too. And like, obviously I don't vlog anymore, but the whole thing for me was like, kind of felt like I was close to my dad doing it. Also, you know, I want to be able to look back and be like, this is what I did, you know? I think the biggest thing was I was just sitting around and had these huge ambitions, but I didn't do anything about them. And like that was a lot of times around a lot of kids where I'm from, we just always talked about what we wanted to do but never did it. And I think the vlog or running around with a camera and people knew that I was filming was something where they realized that they could be doing something. So like everyone was like, oh, let's go to the park and ride surfboards down a hill or something because we're from a surf sit town, or like let's go to In-N-Out and try and like build the gnarliest burger ever. It's like things that are just so typically like you would just do with your friends and not film it, but we weren't doing any of that. They were just sitting around smoking weed in a garage. So it's like, oh, let's go do something with their lives. So it was fun. But to answer your question about the health thing, I was shot when I was 18.
This is crazy.
Yeah.
Because it's by chance. Like your friend's dad tries to aim at a target and it ricochets. And
Holy shit! You know the story.
It hits your fucking lung and it's still in you today.
Yes.
You were shot?
Yes. So I have a 177 caliber bullet in my lung, which is a little bit smaller than a 22.
What the fuck?
Yeah. And so it's like one of those ones you can buy at like Dick's Sporting Goods or the Big Five or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
And it's got the pointed front and the flat back. And so when you shoot, like, and it's shot with like like one of those marksman snipers. And when you enter, it's meant to hunt deer. And so when you hit it into a deer, it's supposed to play pinball inside of their bodies to kill them humanely, you know? But when you shoot a human, it kind of does the same thing. So it entered my liver and it shot up, missed my heart, and it's now stuck in my lung. And so I wanted to get that checked because they told me that they couldn't remove it because they'd have to break all my ribs and there'd be a chance of death. And if they leave it in, it's so small that it'll capsulize. And so it's just in my lung, capsulized. And I wanted to make sure that I'm not dying because I always get scared. I'm terrified. If I have a fever or if I'm taking medicine, I always check online to see if they're contradicting with each other. Like I have a really bad phobia with like knowing that I'm about to die. Like if I don't know I'm about to die, that's fine. But like if I took pills and then realized that I'm about to die and I can't do anything to get those pills out of me, like that's terrifying to me. It's crazy. So I wanted to focus on my health, but I think it's an unhealthy obsession with my health.
But do you think it stems from the fact that you watched both your parents die?
Yeah, 110%. Yeah. And I'm finally in a place where in my life I feel like with the vlogs and stuff, that was fun. But I always wanted to do music, like so on social media. Like,
you've been posting about it way before you posted any other fucking content on the internet, which I didn't know about. I think a lot of people think it's gone the opposite way, but I don't know. There's something in here about the fact that you posted literally like some of your first posts ever were about before Hype House.
Yeah, my first post ever was a cover of Labyrinth's Jealous. And so it's like, and then I did Justin Bieber's Boyfriend, I think it was, or something. I'm not sure. But like I did a bunch of covers. It didn't stick. No one kind of liked it. Went for the vlogs and saw success there. And that's where I was like, oh, cool. I'll just turn it into the music thing, which I'm happy I did. I like the fact that I did it.
I want to go through your story.
Oh, sorry. I go on really bad tangents. I have really bad ADHD. But to answer your question, I'm very happy in my life now, and that's why I'm scared to die. Yeah.
I get it. And death is terrifying. But they do say death is hardest on those who are alive.
Yeah.
And grief is different every day, man. Like it is the way somebody described it to me, and I hang on to this, is like it's very much like weather. Like some days it's a raging hurricane, and the next day it could be a beautiful sunny breezy day. It's
and typically like I'll break down a lot. Not a lot, but like when I do break down, it's like from the randomest shit, and like you just realize you're like, oh fuck, and like it just kind of hits you.
Yeah, but when you decide to do like an unboxing with your dad's ashes,
oh, that's funny.
So you find that entertaining, or does that make you feel good because you're like,
yes, and that's because I mean I have a fucked up sense of humor because of it. I think the biggest thing is like I was heavily bullied as a kid, so I tried to make jokes before people would make them at me. And like a lot of times, like, oh, at least my dad's not dead, and was like very popular one for me. So then I started making like really fucked up jokes about my dad before anyone else could do it, and it stuck. And I think a lot of people who've lost a parent or someone very close to them at a young age all develop this unanimous fucked up comedy, because it's like, I don't know, when you post it, all the comments are like, oh my God, we have the same humor, like I lost this, and it's like, it's just we have a little group, a grief group.
It's just like a little community you guys have.
Yeah, that's what I'd like to say.
I do believe that type of relationship is genuinely important, right? Because there are so many people out there who have experienced really great loss, and the deepest loss. Like, there's nothing like losing a parent. There's also nothing like a parent losing a child. Like, It goes both ways.
100%.
And to your point, it's so few, but also so many people at the same exact time.
Mm.
And I do believe that like those people, to feel understood and seen, whether it be from a YouTube video or a record, I think is really important.
Yeah, it's also like being able to. My biggest thing is like with growing up with it, but even like 21, I lost my mom, and like that's older, sure, but it was something where I did not know how to navigate it. Me and my mom never had a really good relationship. You know, when someone has addiction, they need a surrogate, someone to blame who isn't themselves, and I was that person because I would call her out on her bullshit. I'd be like, "You're drinking, you're an alcoholic, you can't drive us drunk, you can't." Like, we were running red lights all the time growing up on our way to school at 5 a.m. because my mom was drinking all night. And so it's something where, like, no one else would call her out on it except for me, which gave me the kind of attention to be like, oh, hey, you're the problem. You're the fucked up child. That's why I drink, because of you, type of thing. But when she passed away, I never knew how to, like, I didn't know how to navigate it. I didn't know how to react. I didn't know, like, because somehow I still felt like my world had stopped. Like, I remember watching her die in the hospital and immediately going outside and hyperventilating and looking around, and people are on their lunch break and people are walking around and on their way to work. And I'm like, my mom just died and my whole world just stopped. Mm-hmm. And you're like, it didn't affect you. Like, you have no idea what's happening. You're just walking around on a normal day. And that to me was like, holy fucking shit. And so when I write these songs, I wrote Remember Me Happy the day she died. And I was just like, which is funny, that started off as a suicide letter when I was a kid. And then I turned it into like, oh my God, imagine my mom knows because apparently they can hear you right before they die from liver cancer or liver disease. So she died from alcohol, liver poisoning or whatever it was. And I walk in and I just see, if anyone's ever seen a loved one dying from this liver failure, whole body is like yellow or white. And there's something called the death breaths. And it's kind of like a, and then you think they're dead. And then all of a sudden, and it's fucking terrifying. And no one should ever see that. But, yeah, apparently they can hear you. Like, they can still hear you in those situations. And so it's kind of like I wrote the song in perspective of if my mom could talk right now, like, what would she be saying? It's like, I hope you remember the times I was happy and not when I was sad. But yeah, so writing these songs, it's like it gives me the ability to share my story, but also people who have gone through this don't have that outlet, I feel like. They don't know how to put words onto what it is like going through that. And so I just put it into like metaphors or analogies. Like Headlights is literally, the whole song's an analogy. But
when you're writing a song after on that day, like, how are you sorting through your thoughts and your feelings? Or does it just pour out and you sort it mentally? What is that process like?
I don't know. I think it's like I don't go to therapy. I write songs with amazing, talented people. Like,
so do you go in the room with people, or do you do?
Yeah. I can't. That's the thing where I have my mind, and even you'll see this interview, my mind is going so much faster than my mouth can keep up, that it's like, it's so nice to have people in there who are like, oh, yeah, like, that's perfect. Oh, go back to the way you were saying. I will just keep running my mouth and just keep talking and keep thinking of lyrics, and people are like, oh, like, let's keep that. And like, I have a book full of it. And then I'll come in with a book and I'm like, all right, here's 30 ideas I came up with in an hour. Like, which one should we hit? And then it's a whole awesome process.
So after your mom passes, you just write in notes and then you take it to people?
Yeah. And I'll just sit there and I'll be like, all right, this is what I wrote down. And it's like 2 pages long. And like, here's the title that I want to do. And I have a book of all the titles. Remember Me Happy, Chasing Shadows, everything. And all the songs to come, and I already came up with the titles and everything.
But Remember Me Happy, you just said it started as a suicide note?
Yeah. So I wanted to write this. I was really depressed at one point, and I started writing, like, kind of like, it was like, if I'm gone, like, I don't want you to think of anything bad, you know? Like, because death is so depressing. I'm so sorry. But like, death is so sad, and it's like, I don't want you to think that way. But then it was just the bones of it, and then we were kind of like, oh, like, let's turn this into, you know, when I started talking about everything the day of, we're like, let's go to Remember Me Happy and just, you know, make it about that.
What drives you to write a song from your mom's perspective?
I think it's because it's so easy not to. Like, it's so easy to be like, oh, fuck you. You know, you made my life hell. Like, we did not talk. And like, right when she was hospitalized, I was in Rome. And I had sent her a message because my dad and her went to Rome and Paris trying to find there's something that someone could help with the cancer or something. And so they were there and they would take photos in the Vatican. And so I was in the Vatican and I sent her a photo. And I said, I thought you'd like this. And she was in the hospital at the time. And so like that was my last text to her. And it was something crazy where it is so easy to be upset at someone like that who like abused me my entire childhood. And like I never really saw her as a mom. It was more like a learning experience. But for some reason, I didn't feel that way. I didn't feel the hatred. I didn't feel the anger and the malice. I just felt terrified, sad. Because, like, how alone she felt fucks with me. Like, none of my siblings talked to her because she did this to all of us. And she was just really, really, like, when she was drunk, she was a terrible person, like a horrible person. But that became her because she was drunk all the time. And so it scared the fuck out of me knowing that when she was dying and like there was no one there to help her, there was no one there to be there, like that to me is just terrifying. No one deserves that.
They don't.
Yeah.
How do you reconcile with that?
I don't know. I think I've just gotten used to like moving on. Like it's kind of like
everybody else walking around you.
Yeah, which is sad. And I think it's like, you know, I'm so excited to be a dad. Like I am so excited to be a dad. I can't wait to have a kid or 2 kids or 3 kids. But I can't wait to share the stories that I've learned or to share stories about my mom, the good ones, and like the great stories about my dad that I know, and show them the videos of me growing up. And definitely not showing them the vlogs, but but like showing them like kind of like this was your grandma and grandpa. Like they're never gonna meet them. Like that's fucked. Yeah. So it's like it's something where like I can only just tell them about them and like keep that memory alive. Take them to the grave. Like take them to show them, not to a dad unboxing, but but I don't know. I think it's the best way. Just live. I try to live the best capabilities of my dad. Like I really do. Like my dad was very much like, make sure you find the right person, make sure, you know, you get married before you have a kid, like just simple things. And I've lived my life that way.
The person you're with is the person.
Oh my God, dude. Kouvr, I mean, even there, that's a story. Like, it's so cool.
You guys are homeless together.
Yeah. So my mom kicked me out right when I turned 18. The day I turned 18, she stormed into my room at midnight and said, get the fuck out. Not kidding. Like, fully just get the fuck out. And I was like, what the fuck? And she just threw me to the curb with nothing. So the only thing I owned was my phone and a camera because I bought those things myself. And so I set up at the top of my road on a sidewalk, and one of my friends picked me up. I had told Kouvr 2 days before, like, hey, you should come out here and like we should like get a place together and stay together. And so she was planning on moving out the day after. And so I never told her that I got kicked out. She flew in from San Diego. I picked her up in my friend's car. And she's like, what's going on? Like, where we staying? What's the, I'm like, oh, I got kicked out. And so like, we're going to stay in a motel tonight. I got $75. I took her to In-N-Out for the first time ever, which was $5. I didn't skimp for the $2 drink. I got a water cup and filled it up with soda, the whole 9 yards. And next to the In-N-Out was a Motel 6. And it was $75 for the night. And I put together all the money I could, borrowed $25 from my friend, and we stayed our first night in a Motel 6 in Carlsbad. And then after that, I would sleep in my friend's cars. She stayed with a friend for like a week. And then she's like, I hate this. I want to stay with you. And I'm like, I'm sleeping in cars. I'm sleeping on couches. And I don't even have my own car. I didn't get to finish high school. Like, you know, I had to drop out and like, cause I wanted to try and make money and figure it out that way. And she's like, fuck it, let's just do this. And so she started just coming with me. She had a bag with her at all, like just a duffel. I had a duffel, and like we would just sleep in cars, like at a park that our friends would let us borrow. Their parents didn't like me because the things my mom would tell them about me that just weren't true, but she just really loved telling people lies about me. And so we'd then sneak into their houses, and they would like let us like sleep in like their beds and stuff. And so like it was really cool. And we did that for like 4 months.
So do you figure out the algorithm as a means for survival or as a way to like fulfill a larger passion?
Wow. I've never been asked that. I think at first it was for survival. I don't know necessarily how much I enjoy putting my entire life on the internet. I think it's all I know. It's what got me out of a really, really terrible situation, and it's what made my dreams be able to come true, but then I'm scared I'm oversharing now. So it's like, I think the biggest thing was like, I did it. I remember the first time I had a viral video was we woke up in the car and I looked at my phone and I had 800,000 views from a video that I filmed on a Snapchat. Like it was, and then I posted it onto TikTok because I thought it was funny. It was just me and Kouvr. And that was like, holy cow, like this could actually be something. And then so I kept posting it, kept posting new ones and like making those videos. And I figured out the niche, like the algorithm. Like, you know, like I know now what I can post that would do really well. Like I have an understanding of it. And so I was building that idea and it got me out of the situation. So I think it started as survival, and then I really like posting to get people to listen to my music. Oh. And it's like I truly think, and it's really hard to be religious after everything I've gone through, of course. And it's like, if there was a God, why the fuck did any of that happen to me? But I wear my dad's cross around my neck, and I truly think that I was put on this earth to make music. It's hard fucking work, and I have a lot to prove coming from TikTok, because there's people like, and sorry going on tangents and stuff, but there's people who've dedicated their entire lives to this. There's always going to be people more talented than me. There's going to be people who are way better at singing than me. There's going to be people who's way better at guitar than me. There's tons of things. I know plenty of them, but like coming from social media to music, the way I did it, I do have a leg up. I'm in a position right now where I'm doing shows where I may not be fully ready as someone next to me, you know? And like, I have to be very apparent of that yes, I deserve to be here, but I have to work extra hard to get that.
100%, but you're also crafting real songs that, I mean, one, your voice is unique. And one of the notes I have in my phone, which I have lyrics and shit, but it is unique yet similar, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
But a lot of the records that you're showing vulnerability in a very honest way. And I do appreciate the fact that you share these songs, but also live honestly and share everything.
Yeah.
Because there is something to, I don't know, getting a real understanding of the person who's crafting music that is seeing me in a lot of cases through some of the hardest moments of my fucking life, or some of the best moments, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
No, you're right. I think the most powerful thing is showing exactly what I've been through. I think it's also like really hard to believe that I've been through that much, but
it's nuts,
dude. It is so nuts, and I don't know. I just feel like all that shit happened to me, and the fact that I'm still kicking is something really cool. I also think there's a story to tell there, and songwriting just really comes naturally to me, and like just making music and like the way it makes me feel. And I did shows with, I mean, you went to one of Daniel's shows.
Yeah.
I met you there, and to see people's reaction I was an opening act and people were singing my songs back to me. And like, to me, that was nuts to see.
How are you learning how to craft records? Because they're well-crafted records and they're really well produced. I mean, they sound good. Have you listened?
Yeah, they're phenomenal.
Yeah, they're fucking great.
References. A lot of it is references. I'm obsessed with, well, you saw how I algorithmically got myself into social
You're doing
media.
the same thing here. I kind of got that under feeling a little bit.
And so like, that's the whole thing of like, with my first song, JVKE helped me with it. And so I had written it when I was 15. It was called One More I Love You. And I had it on just a guitar. And I didn't even know what keys were. I didn't know like what the chords I was playing. I just knew that these were the progressions of it. And so JVKE reached out to me when I had posted a singing video on my spam account and I got 10 million views. He's like, hey man, I saw that you posted a singing video. I was wondering if you want to get into it. And he wasn't big at all yet. And he had just been making like TikTok sounds at the time. And I was like, yeah, bro, like I don't know what the hell I'm doing, but let's do it. And he came over and I played him One More I Love You in its current state. And he was like, wow, dude, we should run with that. And I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, but let's do it. And so he went home that day, listened to the sound recording that we had done, helped me rewrite it and like kind of put it in the structure of a song.
Sick.
And then he did the production of it. And so the first two songs were done by Jake. And that allowed me to be like, I really love One More I Love You to this day is still one of my favorite songs. Oh my God.
Yeah, the sound of the tape reel starting up at the beginning of it really sets the mood and the tone. It's really beautiful.
So I've always tried to like outdo that.
Great.
And then with more and more talented people I work with, the more and more ideas that I hear. And even sessions that I don't have things come out of it, I walk in and the first thing I say is, I have a book full of song ideas. Whether or not I can tap into every one of these emotions, which one speaks to you? And so each person in that room has a song that actually, like when the song they're working on, it's not like they're working on it because they have to. They're working on it because they want to. And I'm learning from these people, the way they think, the way, why wouldn't they put a snare there? Or like, why are they using a 4 to the floor opposed to, you know, some like, you know, it's just like, why are they making those decisions and choices? And these guys went to like Berkeley and they went to all these different music schools, and I didn't even graduate high school. So it's like, I'm trying to understand why they think that way, what made them think that way, and then how do I feel about it? Because that's the biggest thing. So many people lose it. So many people lose their own options. Like a lot of people who sign to a label then don't really, they're like, oh yeah, you guys know best. Like you guys know this. And it's like all this stuff. And it's like, still what I care about, I went into this because of how it feels. And it's like, do I feel this way still?
And the smartest person in the room is the person who knows that they're not the smartest person in the room. So as long as you go into it being vulnerable and living your truth and being honest, and at the same time realizing that you can learn fucking all around you constantly.
Bro, the biggest mistake most people make, especially coming from social media, is they'll walk, and I've seen it firsthand, they'll walk into these rooms. Keep in mind, these people in these rooms have done thousands of sessions.
Yeah. Oh, they probably did 2 that day.
And people, like TikTokers, and I'm a part of this group, like they'll walk in, and I don't think this way, but I've watched it happen, is they'll walk in and they're like, I'm the next Beyonce. I'm the shit. Like I've heard this come out of a TikToker's mouth. Yeah. And it's like, I'm this, I'm that. And it's like, bro, you've had 13 sessions. These guys have done thousands of sessions, and whether or not they've had a hit, it's like it's bound to happen. It's bound to come. You can't go in with an ego, like, and I've watched them mistreat these people and do this thing. I'm like, you cannot do that. Like, regardless of who you think you are, these people are 10 times more talented than you. You have so much to learn from them. But if you go in with the mindset that you're the best and that you're the next thing, you will never be able to open up and be able to learn from everyone.
Oh, and it's also going to ruin their chances. And I'm telling you right now, TikTok has created more one-hit wonders than we've ever seen before in society, going back to the earliest stages of music and its release.
Hey, I don't mind about being a one-hit wonder. Just give me a hit.
No, you're doing pretty good. You have a lot of consistent streams on your records. They do very, very well. You should be very, very proud.
Thank you.
And also, I think I think there's a threshold to grab a hit, right? And I think a hit, like, it takes you got to fire on all cylinders, and it's about playing the whole game, right? And that's more than just playlisting on DSPs. It's about engaging radio. It's engaging syncs. It's engaging the right looks. It's so many things. But what we found with TikTok, and I think what we're going to continue to find, is a real mental health crisis down the line, because a lot of people get attached to what it was, and people will continue chasing what they had, even though it was incredibly fleeting, just as fleeting as the flick of a fucking finger on a screen. And we've seen nothing like it before. It really frightens the living shit out of me. I'm telling you, look at labels. They've done more single deals in the last 3 years, 4 years than ever fucking before.
Yeah, see, I don't know what the music industry was like before. So like, that's like,
not that.
I know. I someone said, the guy from One Republic, he said that it's 10 times, 10 times harder to get a hit than it was before. Like, it used to be like, a label could throw it on the radio and all of a sudden, brother,
you knew where to go, right? Like, so you knew the levers to pull in order to get exposure, right? Yeah. So you knew the radio people, and even back in the day, like, you knew the DSP people. Now, a lot of the ways that like digital service providers even operate is like they've eliminated people on the other end. So even labels have to fill out a fucking form to get like playlist support from a Spotify, for example. So they've removed people from the equation.
Yeah,
that makes it so much harder. And the democratization of more than a medium, of like a medium and a marketplace and just a culture stream, has allowed for anybody who's anybody to stick their fucking dick into it. And in doing that, what ends up happening is like it clutters the space, so you really don't know what's great. And like, what are your metrics for great anymore? Is it tens of millions of plays on TikTok? Is it millions of streams and today's top hits on Spotify? Is it being in the top 20 on radio?
I'm having issues getting people to fucking make songs or make TikToks to dead people music. That's the biggest thing. Like, I made a trend of me twerking to my song about my dead dad, and that was like funny because of what the fuck, that's so out of pocket. And I love getting that reaction the same way as I love it when people cry to my music, because it's like, oh my God, you feel bad.
Yeah.
And so like when I make them go, what the fuck is wrong with you? That makes me 10 times maybe even more excited than the crying.
When you say it's hard to get people to care about the music about your dead parents, and then you see a Clinton Kane, does that enrage the living shit out of you?
No, I don't like. See, the funny thing is I found out from your show that was not true, or at least perceived to be not true. It's the whole thing, but
I ran into you at Coachella.
Yes.
You brought it up, and I was like,
well, because everyone comes up to me now after yours and Tana's show. Everyone comes up to me and they're like, by the way, I'm so sorry. I didn't know that Clinton was lying about having dead parents. I go, what the fuck are you talking about? And then I watched your show and I found out, and I was like, what the fuck? But I don't know. I think to each their own. His songs helped people, and like they were. What sucks is he's so talented.
He didn't need any of it.
He is so
good.
And by the way, I know you're gonna watch this. You didn't need a shred of the lies. You were such a gifted person.
No, I still love you too,
musician.
Clinton. I'm not mad. Like,
you don't harbor any ill will,
bro. It is so hard for me to hate you. Like, you could literally do so many fucked up things, and I'd still like. I don't. It's so much work, and life is way too short to give a fuck about like. Like, to me, an apology goes a long way. In this situation, it'd be egotistical for me to assume that I would even need an apology. Like, that's the thing. We may have bonded on the fact that both our parents were dead, and that was a thing that, you know.
But he bonded with tens of millions of people in that way.
Yes.
When you think about it on that scale.
Yes. That's fucked up.
I do respect your view on it, though.
It's something where, like, personally for me, like, I don't need an apology from him. Where like a lot of people are under the assumption that I should have one. Where it's like, it's not about me. It's about all the people and whether or not these songs help them. I don't think necessarily Clinton is helping them. I think the music that he's making is helping them. And off the perception that his parents are dead, I just think it was unnecessary. I don't think you need to pretend to have dead parents. Trust me, coming from real life experiences, it's not fun. So I don't know, but I don't think it's like a lot of people are like, oh, I imagine living that and then seeing someone lie about it and benefit from it. I don't. To each their own. Like, I don't care.
The music didn't need any of it.
He didn't. He's so talented.
That's like the worst part.
He is so talented.
So
it's
gifted.
insane. It's
No,
just,
like,
I
makes
wish
me
I had
sick.
his songwriting abilities. Like, that'd be, so imagine how unstoppable I'd be.
Dude, he's like my most listened to artist on Spotify 2 years in a row.
Same. Like, it's nuts. Him and Benson. I love Benson. I don't know if you've had Benson yet.
Benson Boone?
Of course.
Love him.
Oh, yeah, he's such a gift. Such a good guy.
Such a good kid.
Yeah. Really a good guy. Yeah, a kid, I guess. He's so young. Shit.
He's like 19, isn't he?
They're 20 recently, I think.
Yeah, he just comes over to my house and does backflips.
Yeah, like a freak.
The kid's fucking gnarly.
So weird. I took him to the Taco Bell headquarters, and it was
You
like,
would have access to Taco Bell headquarters. That's sick.
and out of all my power moves,
Bro.
I don't have many. That's on my the list of flexes.
That's so funny.
People will hit me up all the time, like very big celebrities, and they'll be like, how the fuck do I get in? Or how do I get a purple card, which is something that is
That's
brand
a
new.
thing?
Yeah, it's new.
Wow.
It's like a metal card.
Who's the most famous person in your contacts?
Oh, I mean, I don't know.
I could probably answer that.
Who, Ariana?
Probably Ariana Grande.
Yeah,
That's
but that's
cool.
not fair. She's my best friend for like a long time.
That's sick.
By the way, real quick, whenever you're in the market for a mattress, you should buy the mattress that I use every single night. It's called the Vibrasonic. It's by Beyond Sleep. There's speakers built into this thing. So I listen to TV like I've never listened to it before. I listen to my podcasts like I've never listened to them before. I don't play video games, but if you do, you could play video games like you've never played them before. And also like meditation and rain sounds. It's really pretty wild. It's the first ever mattress and the only mattress that has speakers built into it. So sick. And it's also incredibly comfortable. If you want to check it out, there's a link in the description below. Okay? Okay. Sleep well.
Who's the most famous person in your I mean, you know everybody. You know a lot of people.
Not really, man. My dream friendship is Shawn Mendes.
Oh.
I've ran into him twice now. I ran into him at Coachella, and I came up to him. I was like, I have to introduce myself, like, because he's one of the reasons why I started doing music. Like, I would sing Stitches like covers all the time.
Did you see his trajectory and say, I can do that?
Yeah, that's what influenced me to be like, oh wow, this is possible. Like him, like Justin Bieber and Grayson Chance, like seeing all those people blow up from social media, and like I thought it was kind of done after Grayson, and then Shawn did it on Vine, and that's at the time when I started posting singing covers on Vine. And nothing ever like kind of grabbed it, but he blew up from it. And I was like, holy cow, like that's possible. And so I saw him at Coachella and I was like, I have to say, like, I I love you. Like, I love your music. We have a bunch, like, 'cause my vocal coach is his vocal coach, Vitro.
Oh my God. Eric's like.
And then Nasseri is my ENT, who I'm getting my nose done tomorrow.
Look at you. You have you have the pop star diva.
I've been in, right? So I said that, and I introduced myself and all those things, and then I literally run into him the next day at vocal lessons. And so I'm at vocal lessons with Vitro, and I'm walking out, and Shawn is at the door. I see 6'5" Shawn Mendes, massive human. And he's like, and I'm like, all right, play it cool. He probably doesn't remember you. He was drunk. And I walk out, and he goes, hey. And I'm like, hey. And he goes, I know you. I go, holy shit. Cool. I go, yeah, man. From where? I play it off. I play it off. And he goes, yeah, you were at Coachella. And I was like, yeah, man. It's so nice to see you. And we talked for, like, he just literally sat there out front of this house for 20 minutes talking to me about the nose surgery because I'm so terrified of it. And he was just like, you're going to love it. You're going to do all these things. Let me know if you need any help. And I'm like, this dude is sick. 3rd time's the charm. I'll ask for his number.
Yes. Take it slow.
Yeah.
He's an incredible guy.
But also, I've noticed that too. Is like, I'm not scared. Like, I will literally DM my favorite celebrities and be like, I fucking love you. And I will not backpedal on it. I will literally be fanboy at someone, hope we be friends. Because I think it's like, to me, it's like if someone came up to me and was like, hey, I absolutely love you. That isn't going to ruin my chances of becoming friends with them. If anything, it's even cooler. Like, I understand that they like me.
But see, that's interesting. I feel like there's an expectation or a pressure. And I even feel this like when I meet somebody.
So many people pretend not to know anyone, and then they like in hopes to become friends with them. Fuck that.
Zach asked Tom Holland what he did for a living.
I did that. I was a little drunk.
Why?
It's the dumbest thing I've ever done.
I feel like in his head, like at a certain point when you're that big, you have to assume that everyone knows who you are.
Yeah. But also, yes, I did do that. Way to call me out.
I love it. But I think it would be naive, but also I think offensive for me to pretend I don't know who Shawn Mendes is.
No, that's 100%. Yes, 100%. And that's the dumbest thing I've done.
No, I don't think, I'm not calling you naive.
No, it's dumb. You should.
And I also don't think me talking, but like if Shawn ever saw this, I don't think it would affect my chances of becoming friends with him because that's just, I don't know, this way my brain works.
Good.
But some people are like, oh, that's weird and cringe. I'm like, nah, dude.
No, but I won't, like, if somebody says that they're a fan of our show and...
Me?
Well, thanks. But I feel scared to forge a relationship with them because I don't want to let them down. Whatever. And I am the same person on and off, but like, you get to know me a little bit too long, you don't want to hang around me. A lot of my friends.
I'm looking at him for
trouble. I mean, dude, a lot of my friends have been around for fucking decade plus. So it's like long time. So I do get like nervous about like if somebody's like, oh, I like your show. And they'll be like, oh, let's hang out. And I'll be like,
yeah, the first time I met you, I was like, dude, I'm obsessed with your show.
Thank you.
That's cool, dude. Especially I see it all the time on TikTok.
That's all him.
There you go.
I post a shit ton.
There you go.
That's him and our great guest, to be honest. But like, at the end of the day, real does recognize real, and you should understand that. Like Shawn Mendes is like a very kind guy, but he doesn't stop for anybody he doesn't get that same energy from. So
he's so cool. He's so nice to me.
He's up there. Like when did Life of the Party era is when he came on our show for the first time.
I listened to that in the gym yesterday.
Fucking classic.
Something big is happening out of my control. Yeah. Like that was. I started running on the treadmill from that.
No, he's Canadian gem.
Oh, I know.
So this next
so hot too.
Bro,
good looking dude.
Yeah, please don't even get me started. I can't. It'll get me sweating, and that's all I think about for like the rest of the fucking day, and then my day's ruined. Bro, I've been thinking about Shawn Mendes in his fucking Calvins or in any photo he ever takes. Actually,
life.
What a gift you are.
I'm just happy he came back to music. I thought he was turning into a socialite for a bit.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, he didn't release music. He was just seen everywhere, and I was like, where'd Shawn go? And
I feel like it added to the value, though.
Yeah, when he finally came out with music, like, oh, Shawn's back.
Yeah.
And he released that song in 24 hours the other day, which was pretty sick.
Yeah, I saw it. It was, fuck, what happened, or why is everyone dying or something like that?
What are we all dying for?
What are we all dying for?
Is that right?
Yeah, that's sick. That's a fire title, dude.
Yeah. I really do like the fact that it was done in exactly 24 hours. I think that's really unique and different.
I know. I never heard of that.
Yeah. Give You Love, though. That is your most recent release. Is this a note to your fiance or to who?
Yeah, so the biggest thing with me, and it's no secret, Kouvr and I broke up a month into dating. Not like in person. We did long distance for 4 to 6 months. And she was just a completely different person at the time. And, she made some mistakes, and I ended up breaking up with her. And my biggest thing was, like, I was always cheated on in a relationship. Like, I don't think I've ever dated someone where I wasn't cheated on. And I was constantly like kind of like, oh my God, I kind of deserve it at this point. Like like if it keeps happening to me, it's something with me.
Why do you think you deserved it?
Because it kept happening to me.
Yeah, but what, was there something about you that you like kind of blamed?
I've always battled with insecurity.
Yeah.
Like I'm a one-stop shop for trauma. Like that's the biggest thing. Is like I am so insecure about myself. I constantly doubt myself, even singing. Like I constantly have a really bad imposter syndrome.
You have Eric Vitro, don't worry.
Thank you. But
doesn't social media exacerbate that, or does it actually bring it on?
Brings it on. I truly I think it's worse for me because yes, people are paying attention more, but I'm held to a standard now where like I have X amount of listeners, which it's not a lot, but it's something where like I'm very proud of how many listeners I have and how many streams I've gotten. So I feel like comparatively to people in my stature of where we are, they're a lot more talented than me. So that's the way I view myself. Like I'm kind of like always putting myself down. And I think it's because my mom did, and she's dead now. So I'm kind of filling in for her.
Is that, yeah, but is that pressure that you put on yourself a blessing and a curse?
Yeah. Yeah. Because I work extra hard because of it.
Yeah.
But I don't think I'll ever be proud of where I am because of it.
I think you can find pride in other areas.
Yeah. I'm very proud that my fiance is with me.
You should be proud that your music has a positive impact on millions of people.
Yeah, that is something that I think I overlook a lot because that might mean I'm doing something right, and I don't want to give myself that kudos.
Yeah, but I think you should remember. You should find a balance where you can remember that, but still strive to get more streams, sell at bigger venues. I mean, there is.
Oh yeah, my dream is to play fucking arenas, dude.
Great,
that'd be so cool.
Good, you can. I mean, there is a deep part of this that takes an artist to be selfish a little bit and to have this push for more.
I'm just scared of getting egotistical. Like, I don't want to ever come off as a douche. Like, that's the biggest thing. Is I don't want to lose where I'm at.
Yeah, but you're not afraid of being canceled because you claim you're not a piece of shit. So if you stay true to that, I think you'll be okay.
Okay, yeah.
But you also didn't become egotistical when you were getting millions and millions of views on YouTube and you were like one of the biggest YouTube stars.
I've never viewed myself as that. That's the thing. Like, and I know everyone fucking says this, but like genuinely, I never believe those numbers are true. The TikTok followers, all that stuff, the views, I don't believe it to be what it is. Like, that's the thing. I just think I get lucky every time. Like, I will never kind of give myself that credit of like, oh, like, you know, you did. Because, like, I think if you make those comments before, then anything else someone says about you won't hurt you. And, like, that's the same mentality of, like, why I made that dad jokes and stuff so people wouldn't make it in front of you. I'm a whole therapist's dream right now, dude. Like, I'm quite literally so broken that a therapist is like, I can fix you. But
or they run. I don't know.
But Give You Love. Give You Love is, yeah, so I'd written part of this song when my fiance at the time, but she's my girlfriend at the time, fiance now, she had like fought to have me back. Like, she had really, really, like, you know, she's like, I changed, I don't, and I was hesitant, really hesitant, because I'm absolutely in love with this girl. Like, I knew from the start, this was my one. This is, and I
How'd you know?
How'd I know what?
That you were in love and she was your one.
Dude, I just the gut feeling. Like, it's something where I wish I could explain it. And I even said it to her. I was like, dude, this hurts so much and it's so hard because I know that, like, we're going to get married. Like, and it's just weird. And I've never felt that way about anyone else. And I've had, you know, countless relationships growing up. And, you know, obviously we met at 18. So as junior as that relationship could have been, it was just a gut feeling. Like, I don't know what it was. I couldn't explain it, couldn't tell you. I just knew that we were going to be together, and I knew that this was the right thing to do in taking her back, and ever since then it was like a whole new person. Things were different, my life is different. Like, it's so interesting and so weird, like how I trusted my gut, but it worked.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I don't know I wish
because
I could tell you.
It's scary to trust your gut.
It's scary as fuck in my situation too, but yeah, so that song was like, you know, if I go in head first, am I going to get hurt? Like, am I going to get hurt again? Are you going to break my heart?
What's her reaction to the song?
She loves everything I do. She's the most supportive fucking person I've ever met, which kind of sucks because she won't give me any advice. She's always like, you're amazing. You're perfect. You do amazing. I'm like, no, you need to tell me what I'm doing wrong. Because, like, if everyone constantly says I'm doing amazing, then how the hell am I supposed to get better?
True.
And I'm begging people to tell me what I'm doing wrong. And so I go to my hate comments to because everyone around me is as love. I think they know that I'll obsess over it. So none of them tell me like, oh, you know, this, it could be better. This is stuff. They're just like, you're amazing. You're doing great. You're like, and it's like, as amazing as that is, I need someone to be like, hey, you could do this differently. You could do this better. You could do this, blah. Or else I'm just going to stay where I'm at. Or at least that's the way my brain works.
I understand that, though.
Yeah.
But sometimes, you know, if people really don't know, they don't know. And they may be afraid to say something in fear that it could steer you in the wrong direction.
Maybe. Yeah.
You are doing so much right.
Thank you. It's so hard. I feel like I needed to hear that because I don't feel that way, but I don't know.
It's true.
Thank you. God, I'm just an insecure little pussy.
But what do you like? I don't get what you feel like you're doing wrong. Like you were homeless 3 years ago, and now like, you're successful.
Like
you created
where I'm at, yes.
I had no. By the way, real talk. I had no fucking clue that you created the Hype House.
Really?
Yeah, I had no clue.
Yeah,
I had no idea.
Yeah, I named it. I did a lot of stuff behind the scenes, but I told the Thomas, the person I created it with, I was like, hey, first week of it starting, I was like, I don't want to be involved in this. Like Jake Paul had came over to our house and was like, you're going to get sued a lot. And it's going to ruin your friendships and it's going to do all this stuff. And he gave us a heads up. And I was just like, after that talk, I went up to Thomas and I was like, I don't want to run the business. I just want to reap the benefits. Like I'll post, I'll do all the things that I have to. But
wait, so Jake comes over to warn you?
Jake came over as like a courtesy thing. But like Thomas wanted to know, like, you know, with Team 10 and how that happened, like what he could do differently. And me, like I've always just wanted to make content or make music. I've never really cared about, like I don't care about business. I don't care about making money. Like the benefits of money are great. And I love that I've been able to build such a profitable business on social media and music, but I've always just cared about, like I'm an attention whore. I love when people are paying attention to like the music. I don't like negative attention. That's why you won't see me in drama. I don't try to get into that shit. I don't care about making a scene. I just want to make music and I want to make people feel a certain way. It's plain and simple. And Thomas loved business. So he asked and I went to him the next day and was like, I don't want to be involved in the business side. You know, I helped come up with a name. I helped with all the socials. I'll help promote people. I'll help whatever. I introduced them to Huddy and all that stuff. I just want to make music and get out of it whenever I can. And so I was in it for like 2 years and then 2.5 years. And then I was like, hey, I'm going to go pursue music. I signed a record label deal and here we are.
And do you make a lot of money from it? Yes.
Music?
I mean,
I got a good deal. I my personal opinion, money wise, phenomenal up front, but also my royalty is really good.
Okay, so hold on. You make money from the record deal, but do you make anything from Hype House?
No, never. No one made money off Hype House except for Thomas.
What?
Yeah.
How the fuck does that work?
I don't know. It was the whole thing where he like controlled the finances. Pretty much, he just said, you know, all the money will be used to like pay for like a Hype House account. And so like we had an account for the Hype House purchases and stuff, and he just controlled it. But we got paid like for brand deals.
Okay.
That Hype House would bring.
But he still took a piece of those too. Yep. Yeah.
Is that why the Hype House died, or did it just run its course?
A lot of us signed NDAs, so no one's going to talk about it. Yeah. But, you know, it's like...
Do they own a piece of your music business?
Hell no. He doesn't. No. Hype House, the whole thing is there was no contracts. No one owned parts of things, but there was, like, falling out. Like, no one... Anyone who's ever been a part of Hype House will not tell you, like, what happened.
What happens in Hype House?
But at a certain point, if everyone leaves and no one's... Like, all of us hang out, but no one hangs out with anyone who is in it or are currently in it for a certain reason.
Yeah, weird.
Someone can do some deductive skills here and figure out why.
It just seems like that was really dirty, and then across the street you had the other house that was really dirty that I know a lot of people are still paying into.
I think that's a huge part of why I don't give myself credit for that time. I think the biggest thing is like, sure, I helped create it and all this stuff, but I think a lot of times, a lot of my success is based off the fact that I was a part of that. And
I didn't even know, though.
Yeah, thank you. That's awesome. I appreciate it. But I think a lot of it is like, I guess it's really easy for me to go after myself. Like I won't give myself credit where some people will. And I think I don't know why. Maybe a therapist who's watching could tell me. But yeah, I don't know. I'm really self-deprecating, obviously.
And I understand that, but you should give yourself credit where credit is due.
I really should start trying.
But I don't think you know where it's due.
I don't. I don't know how to do it. and I'm really hard at taking compliments. I always think people are lying to my face.
Really?
I'm such an insecure bitch, bro. It's crazy. Yeah.
Interesting.
But I also think that's why it's so easy for me to be vulnerable in my music. And so it's like, that's why I'm scared of changing, is I'm obsessed with the music I make. I love my music. And that, I feel like it's really rare. A lot of people hate the music they make or they can't hear it. I'm proud of everything I make because I feel like it's a way for me to cope. And so I'm kind of scared if I start getting more confident and stuff. Yes, the music will change. Like, it will change to a more confident.
But that's okay. That's you evolving as a person. But
I'm not going to force it. I'm going to let it happen. I feel like once I'm married and I have kids, I think that's going to, like, I'm going to have kids by 25 because my fiance has PCOS and endometriosis, which means by 28 she has to freeze her eggs if she doesn't have kids. So, like, we want to have like 3 kids, and she doesn't want to freeze her eggs. So we're gonna start at 25.
Mazel tov.
I'm 22, so I got 3 years.
Damn.
Yeah.
So start cranking away. Do you have an album ready to go, or what's up?
I've been working on like.
Oh, not that kind of crank. working.
I have a lot of songs approved and ready to go. We're doing like a whole month rollout each song. So like next month I have a song called Change Your Mind, which my brother tried to commit suicide last year, and I wrote the song kind of like, because he would tell me what's going on, and like he tried to OD on pills, and it was something where, like, you know, I had lost Kouvr also, and so like kind of like Grant trying and then losing Kouvr is something where I was like, holy fucking shit, what's happening? And I wrote Change Your Mind, which is coming out July 13th, I think. It's just like literally like a plead, kind of like almost like a suicide song, kind of like the 1-800 song that Logic did, but more of like a, like, I'll be there for you type of thing. And then I have a song called How Could You Be Okay that comes out August, and then I have You'll Be Alright Kid, which the entire project is going to be called, and it's going to be a bunch of songs that are about my childhood, about me, where I'm at now, like what I've been able to put out, and it's all going to be put into a record or records of just like, you'll want to go listen to You'll Be Alright Kid, and it's from start to finish where I was to where I am now. And then whatever projects I work on after are going to be where I'm at now going forward.
Do you believe the title?
Yeah. I think the biggest thing, I would sit there in my room after like my mom just like punched me in the face. And like that's why I have a deviated septum and why I'm getting it fixed tomorrow. But I'd sit there and be like, what the fuck, dude? Like, and I'd look in the sky and I'd be like, no, genuinely, like I would actually say this, like out loud, screaming in my room, what the fuck did I do to deserve this? Lost my dad, constantly getting abused by my mom, getting cheated on in a relationship at the age of 16 was life-threatening.
Shot.
Right. My whole world was over. I would get panic attacks, and I would just sit there, and I'm like, what the fuck? And that happened for so long, where I would just like, I would literally get on my balcony and look down, and this drop isn't going to kill me, but I would just sit there, and I'd be over it, and I'd be like crying. That I knew it wasn't going to kill me, but I would just look down, you know? And it's like, that's something where it's like, I look back on it and I try to forget a lot of my childhood because of how fucked it really is. But yeah, I where I'm at now, I bet it's so hard to believe this. I am so happy right now. I think the biggest thing is like, because of everything I've gone through, I'm able to tell a story.
Well, does music allow you to put a period on this shit so you can move on?
Every song I write about something, like especially like my mom's death, like Remember Me Happy, or all the songs I've written, it helps me understand why cause I push off all the emotions. I don't think about it ever until I write the songs. And then when I write these songs and I listen back, I break down crying. Like I will break down, if you play any one of my songs, like You'll Be Alright Kid or Change Your Mind or all these super depressing ones that no one's heard yet, but I'll play them in my car and just start breaking down, bawling, crying, because those are the times where I'm actually able to talk about how I felt in that situation. And I'm able to move on from it. Like I'm able to like be like, that's okay that I felt that way. It is totally normal to feel that way. And I'm in such a better place now. Like I'm buying my first house with my fiance. We're getting married next year. Like there's so many cool things in my life that I dreamed of that I never thought I'd actually make it to.
And now you're here.
Yeah. At the Zach Sang Show.
You said you're happy now. When did you start to feel happy? Like, were you happy when you were vlogging and making it seem like you were happy?
That's why I quit. Like I genuinely, there is like a switch. Like after like in the Netflix show, like you can just tell all I care about is filming content. Like all I cared about was getting views and stuff. There was like a switch that happened once I started doing music where I didn't have to film my entire life.
But is it also linked to financial freedom?
Huh?
Financial freedom or at least comfort?
No, because I still have to do social media to make money. Like I post on Snapchat like 90 times a day just to make sure that like I can still do music and be able to make a living. I get paid very well for it. So like that's the thing. It's like not boohoo, like whatever. But like the goal is to just do YouTube, just do music. And I don't want to have to share every aching minute of my day or life. Like I want to be able to have some privacy. I don't have any privacy right now.
Well, you want people to get to know you through the music and not everything else.
Exactly.
But I do think like as of now it helps the narrative, and I don't know.
Yeah, and it's also like I don't hate it. Like I love what I do. It's able to get me in front of more people and show them my music. But the goal is to obviously
just do music.
Yeah. I think it's more me.
Well, support his quest to making that a reality. Listen to all of Alex Warren's music. There's going to be a link in the description below. All of those songs are on Amazon Music. What are you thinking, Daniel?
I have two questions completely different, but like what's it like going into surgery tomorrow? Like what are the emotions knowing you're going into surgery because of something your mom did to you?
I don't care.
You don't?
No, I think it's like I'm more scared of surgery. I'm terrified of like again, like how I'm terrified of like taking pills. I'm going to be fully under. I have no idea what that's like. I've never been under. Oh. So like I'm terrified of like never waking up.
You'll wake up.
Yeah, you'll be fine. But it is scary.
I'll remember that. Dan and Zach told me to wake up.
Yeah. We are not near medical trained professionals, but like, you know, you'll be fine.
I love it. Yeah, but no, I don't. Again, it's so hard for me to like hate anything that happened because everything that happened to me has led me to where I am today. Totally. And I'm very proud of who I am today. But
there is something to like, you know, either putting a period or ellipses on something like that was so traumatic as your mom punching you. Yeah. There's something to healing it finally and kind of having closure and moving on from it.
I think that's why I'm focusing so hard on my health. Like I think that's the biggest thing is why I'm really going after it is kind of like, you know, I feel like this is finally me taking care of myself. I didn't eat right for so long. I didn't care about my health for so long. I would vape. I would do all these things. And like, that was something where like I just continuously let my body deteriorate. And now I'm like working out every other day. I'm on the right medications like the Ozempic and the like testosterone and the vitamin D.
The priority is you.
And I'm able to share with people and not like I don't want to lie. Like so many people are like, oh, I'm not on Ozempic. It's like, yes, you fucking are, dude. Like that's the thing with me is like I don't want to give people unfair expectations either. Like this is what I'm on, this is what I'm doing, but I have to take it. And like I'm just gonna show you guys what I have to go through. Like I get a shot in the ass and I film it and I show people that I'm getting a shot. Kouvr will give me a fucking shot in the ass and then I get a shot in the stomach and it's not fun. I don't want shots in the stomach and ass. I'd rather just work out and eat healthy. But eventually.
I know I look so thin that you're like, wow, Zach's definitely on Ozempic. No. I row.
He rows.
I fucking row.
What was your second one?
The second one was like, I'm sure you know a lot of people that were super successful for like a very short period.
Yeah.
What is the lasting effects that will have on some people? Because you found your lane. You're going into music.
Yeah.
What are the effects on the people that have no idea what they want to do? They're 22 and they have their whole future and they're like, my social media career is kind of dead.
I see it a lot. Yeah. They kind of move back home. Like it's something where like that or like there's like a scene that everyone kind of like, it's a party scene. I don't drink or smoke, so I don't party. Like, and I'm not going to a party to meet girls, which is typically like the three things you go do to a party is if you want to get fucked up, if you want to network, or if you want to meet a girl.
That's why I go to meet all the honeys.
But or at least with my friends or group, that's what they do.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I'd never really partook in that, but like you've noticed a lot of them kind of like resort to drugs and alcohol and partying to kind of mask exactly what they've gone through or whatnot. And then they go back home, get normal jobs, and then keep kind of posting on social media periodically. But yeah, it's kind of like it's happening a lot right now because there's no brand deals being floated around because of the whole recession or whatnot. So you're seeing a lot of it right now. So if people don't have a career kind of solidified already, it's really, 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 really tough right now for a lot of people who were at a part of the blow up but didn't make a lasting impression, I guess.
Yeah. Is your priority your health right now to be a dad?
Yeah.
And be a combination of the best parts of you both your parents and be what your parents could never be?
Yeah. I think the thing is like it's so easy, like 'cause cancer runs in my family, but also it's so easy to kind of take advantage of your life that it's kind of like I don't want to be dying. Like I don't want to know I'm dying and then have a kid. I don't want to put them through what I went through. I want to give Like, I've been so dedicated to being able to give my kids the life that I didn't get to have. Like, that's been my goal since day one. I've made sure to do all the dumb shit and get it out of my system now. Like, I would have a helicopter land on our driveway and do all these cool things, like, for the vlogs and stuff, and I don't really care about doing that anymore. It's like I've gotten the kid out of me. I kind of a lot of people say I'm really mature for a 22-year-old. And I don't know. I just want to make music. I want to hang out with my dogs. I want to hang out with my wife, and I want to just hang out. Like, I don't care about anything else.
Well, listen to Alex Warren's music so he can just hang out. There's a link in the description below.
Make TikToks to my
actually, so he can do nothing. You make TikToks.
Is making TikToks to this, like, I'm dumb as shit when it comes to TikTok. I post on ours, but I know nothing about it. Is that important to getting a successful song? Is having people make TikToks to it?
TikTok is like 99% of what you see on the charts. Like, that's the thing. Like, I feel like there's the 1% that, like, from syncs. Like, Lizzo blew up from syncs, which is really cool, but, like, no one's really syncing right now. So it's like, I feel like it is, but also no one fucking knows. Like, that's the thing. Labels will tell you that they know what blows up a song. No one knows. They're constantly guessing. Labels are great from getting a song from 40 million streams to 100, but they suck at getting 0 to 40.
Are you still at Atlantic?
Yeah, I love
great.
Atlantic.
Great.
I think the best people I think I could have ever signed with.
I agree. I like them a lot.
They just
love
like
them.
I don't know. I work really hard, and I'm a huge fan of if people work as hard as me, then it's like you're unstoppable, and they work really hard.
Julie Greenwald does.
Dude, Julie's scary.
Yeah, she's a baller.
She's so sick.
She's cool.
I remember when I first met her, I was like, damn, this girl's a badass.
Yeah. Dan Posner's a great guy. They're all great.
Yeah.
You have a great team.
Yeah.
They're amazing.
Pete Gambarg's my A&R, which is
Boom.
Nuts.
Yeah, all will be okay. Listen to Alex Warren's music on Amazon Music. Link in the description below. I really appreciate you being here.
Thanks for having me. This is sick. This is a dream come true.
Oh.
I literally texted you that. I was like, this is a dream.
Well, hope we didn't let you down.
No, I'm very happy with it.
I appreciate you very much. Thanks for giving us your honesty and your energy and sharing your art today. So thanks.
Thanks.
Alex Warren, everybody.
Hey. Woo!